Fast-moving stocks at the open often look very scary, but they follow repeatable patterns. And the dip and rip pattern is one of the absolute most reliable. Now you gotta wait for it to set up, but when they go, man, they really go. So if you wanna catch those biggest morning runners, particularly after the market open, I know a lot of you are scared to trade pre-market. That's a good thing. But the great thing about the dip and rip pattern is it stops you from chasing. Many of you have heard me say, chasers always get wrecked, R-E-K-T. They always get wrecked. Chasing works about 1 out of 100 times. But if you can wait for the setup to set up, or for the chart to set up, not only does it put the odds in your favor, but it puts you in front of these explosive moves, and you're not just impulsively piling into a stock hoping it goes higher. So if you learn the dip and rip, you can finally trade with confidence, you can slow things down, you can be a real trader, not impulsive. So another quote I always like to use is, the market punishes impulsiveness. It will punish you, but it will reward patience. So that being said, what is the dip and rip pattern? Let's get into it, guys. So I want to kind of draw these out because I know a lot of the times when I show an example, all the candlesticks, all the stuff going on there, what I really want to get in is the meat of it, okay? So what I'm going to start with is market open. So think of that as the 9:30 Eastern market open. Now the dip and rip pattern is heavily based on big pre-market gainers. Now, like I said before, chasers get wrecked. You invariably buy the top and wish you wouldn't. You know, it's kind of like when I think of chasing, it's like the proverbial alcoholic. They wake up in the morning and they're like, I'm never gonna do that again. And then by 5 o'clock that night, they're back on the bottle. And that's what chasing is like. Now, at some point, you can say, I'm done, I'm clean and sober, and I'm gonna wait for this stock to set up. Now we've got, several criteria. So one of the first criteria we're gonna look for is low float stocks. Now, when I say low float stocks, we're looking for stocks. The cutoff is traditionally around less than 10 million shares. Now, if it's 11 or 12 or 15 million, that's still considered a low float stock, but people like hard numbers. So less than 10 million is what we're gonna be looking at. Next is we want a catalyst, okay? When it comes to trading big moves, a lot of people see an occasional no news stock take off. Now, that's fine, but I'm not looking for outliers. That's another thing a lot of new traders do. They see some outlier, something that happens once a month or once a quarter, and they're like, whoa, look at that. What we want is something that's a consistently repeatable setup. So yes, there are occasionally stocks that run on news, but I don't care about outliers. I want repeatable setups and strategies. So we want a catalyst, ideally kind of in that 7 to 9 a.m. window. Now, if you've been trading a while, you know that these momentum stocks, these penny stocks, they know how to play the game. And what that means is they're going to drop those press releases 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. is always really busy because they know that's when most people are watching the markets looking to trade. Sometimes they'll release press releases at 7, 8 o'clock at night. You say, oh man, they blew it. No one's, it's like the tree falling in the forest and no one heard it. So we want to see that catalyst in that 7 to 9 a.m. window. Then the last criteria we want to see is unusual volume. Now, let me define unusual volume. What the data point I track, since we use 3 distinct time frames in day trading, the 2-day 5-minute chart, the 2-month 15-minute chart, and the 1-year 1-day chart. Now, the reason I use the 2-month chart is we particularly track the 60-day average volume on the stock. Now, you can look that up. It's built into Stocks to Trade. It's right there. You'll instantly see it. But what we're looking for is multiples of the 60-day average volume. So let me give you an example. A lot of these stocks you'll see, they'll trade a few 100,000 shares, maybe 1 million shares leading up to the big run. So what we like to see is multiples of that. And the higher the multiple, the better. So if it's trading 1 million shares, we love to see 2, 3, 5, 10 million right off the gate, because that tells us that this catalyst got us some eyeballs. It got us some interest that's going to run this stock. So those are the big things. Low float rotation comes into play when you have unusual volume, and then a catalyst to drive it. So I'm sure many of you guys have seen that. So let's go back to pre here. You get that straight vertical move, okay? Now, this is where the chasers almost always get wrecked, because right after that initial onrush of the catalyst, you typically get that sell-off into the open, okay? Now, again, a lot of people see that big green line and they're like, well, I could get in there, but man, you better be quick to take profits. You better just be a scalper, like, because that pullback happens, it happens fast, and it's very difficult to time. That's why I say chasing almost never works. Occasionally you'll catch it, but it's rare. So now we have that big pullback into the market open. Now there's a lot of things going on there. What that does is induces a lot of panic selling. We get the weak hands, as they say, out of there. The chasers, they're gone because they lost money again. They're the alcohol, they're drunk again, okay, because they can't be disciplined. But then the other thing it does, and the best part is, that attracts short sellers, okay? Like, we know that significant majority of penny stocks spike and fail, okay? Short sellers know that too. So they see that big onrush, and they start, and when it starts to pull back, put in lower highs and lower lows, they pile in, which is smart, okay? Because they might short there and cover here at the market open, and good for them. Well done. Now, for most of you who are going to be on the long bias side of things, that's where we're just going to wait for it to set up. And what you will see happen, particularly with these low float stocks, is they're going to break that pre-market high. Now we wait for that pre-market high. That's why it's called the dip and the rip. And then what happens there at that point that it goes from red to green, and I drew that straight vertical for a very distinct reason. What happens at that pre-market high is anybody that's shorting that weak open, we call it, that gap down after the initial spike, most of them, not all of them, most of them are going to set their stop losses at that pre-market high, and we can capitalize on that as long bias traders. Now, I know a lot of you guys are brand new, but one thing you got to remember is when shorts exit their position, they're buying, okay? You have to buy to cover. They sell first, buy back later. And because of that, when these stocks break that pre-market high, you have a huge inrush of volume. Like, you'll see volume candles kind of like this, and then you'll see a volume candle like that when it breaks that high day. What that volume candle is denoting is a term that I like to say, everyone's buying, okay? And that's an exaggeration, it's an oversimplification, but the idea is the breakout buyers are buying. A lot of the people that didn't stop out, the chasers, they might be adding or re-entering because they're like, oh, I got bagged again, I'm going to re-enter. And then you also have short sellers buying at that point because they're closing their positions. If they're smart, okay? If they're smart, they're out there. Dumb ones stay in and blow up their accounts, but we'll save that for another day. So you have this initial onrush of buying at that pre-market high, which you can ride that. Remember, stocks go up because there's more buyers than sellers. Stocks go down because there's more sellers than buyers. And we want to ride that momentum. So most of these moves, not all, but a lot of them, are right into that 945 window. You'll see this repeatedly, okay? What I love about that is you can just chill out, wait for all the crazy volatility at the market open. Many of you know I highly recommend the 945 rule for new traders. So you can just kind of chill and wait for it to break that high of the day. That's your buy point. Set a smart stop a little lower. Target a 3-to-1 risk to reward to the upside. Maybe you got 20 cents of downside, 60 cents of upside. I mean, I'm just using numbers. And, our goal is to just take a piece of the pie. So sure, the stock went way up there, but if we can collect 60 cents of upside for 20 cents of downside, that's how you become profitable over the time. A lot of these stocks spike really fast. So you're talking very short time investment here. You can be in and out in minutes, sometimes seconds, collect your daily paycheck, and then it's not even 10 a.m. yet. You can go to work, go to the park, go do whatever the heck you want. But when these stocks spike, they spike really fast. Now, let's talk about The flip side of the dip and rip pattern, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of these stocks just go all the way back, okay? This is what I absolutely love about the dip and rip pattern. Because if none of this happens, if none of that happens right there, and only this happens, then we don't trade the stock. We don't enter, okay? So if it goes all the way back where it came from, who cares? Let the shorts make bank. Congrats to them. Let them count their profits. But if this happens, we can be ready in advance of the move and absolutely capitalize over and over and over again. And remember, with profitable trading, it's not about trading every stock. It's about trading repeatable setups, and the dip and rip is that. So that being said, guys, if you want to know more about the dip and rip pattern, if you want to trade them live with me every day, we go over these exact setups every single trade or every single day. So you can join me in the Daily Income Trader system. Just hit that link below. We'll give you a full tour of the system. You can maybe even catch a dip and rip with me live. We'll go over it live versus recorded like on this video. You'll see real-time charts. You'll see that volume come in. You'll see it all play out. So hit that link. Attend a webinar on the Daily Income Trader system. And then last, have you traded dip and rips before? Let me know. Let me know the ticker. Let me know how you did. Let me know if you like waiting for the setup instead of being impulsive. All right, guys, have a great day.